Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Two Hearts Urban Homestead. Today we are going to do a little tomato care. We're going to be pruning the bottom of our tomatoes for better airflow, just so we can kind of combat any diseases that may come during the summer months with all of the humidity. So come and join me as I take care of that. Alright, so on my honeycomb plant here, we can see that we have a lot of suckers growing, and we have a lot of foliage here near the soil. And the leaves near the soil, as you can see, are kind of getting a little beat up a little bit, and there's a few spots on them that could turn into disease. So I want to make sure that I do take care of that, and I remove all the lower leaves. I do not put these in compost. And if you take a really close look, there are some bugs on there as well. So again, getting rid of anything that's near the soil level here. I'm trying something a little bit different this year. I am not pruning away any suckers this year. I am letting pretty much all the suckers grow unless I find that it gets way too complicated. But as of right now, I think trimming the suckers in the past has made my plants less productive. So again, I'm going to refrain from pruning anything sucker wise. And again, that's for right now. That may change, but so far I think they are still producing quite well, even with the suckers. As you can see, there's a group of tomatoes coming on here, and this is my honeycomb. This is a hybrid tomato, so it looks like it is going to be the first one to produce this year, and I think it's pretty much the first one to produce every year. So again, just removing some of those along the soil line here. I do have a cup of hydrogen peroxide that I am going to dip my shears in, just to sterilize them a little bit, so just in case that plant does have a little bit of disease, hopefully I am mitigating the transfer from one plant to the other. So down here, and it's a little bit hard to see, but I did have, I did have another plant growing in here, and it's kind of vining out right now, but definitely a lot of these leaves towards the bottom are covering it up. They're covering up the marigolds that I have growing here, which they don't seem to too much mind, but I see that the ones that are not in the shade are already flowering, where the ones in the shade here have not started to flower yet. So again, I'm not purposely trimming any suckers unless they're just too close to the bottom and they have leaves dragging on the ground. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go up. They do say to trim all the way up to the first buds for the fruit growth, but for right now, I'm just gonna take everything that's on the ground again. Again, sanitizing in between each one. So I'll be back as soon as I'm done with this. All right, so if you take a look at the soil line here in each planter, we are able to clearly see the soil, and we don't have those leaves hanging in the way. So just to show you what some of those leaves look like, and ignore the toilet back there. These are some of the leaves that are hanging on the ground. So as you can see, they're yellowing, they look a little diseased. There's another one, a few there. So this is something that we are trying to prevent. You have grown tomatoes, you know that they can be rather dramatic at times. So again, just trying to get ahead of any disease that might, come in our garden, especially with the humidity. And there's all sorts of like little bugs and everything on there as well too. I saw some eggs on the back of one of these. Not sure what kind of garden bugs they were, but that is what we are trying to prevent. Let's move over to our next area. So I do have some tomatoes here in planters that never got around to planting. They were extras because I did grow too many. Again, still sanitizing my shears after each plant. And I left my peroxide water on the other side of the garden. But I'll just show you this plant right here. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. See if I can get you in the right focus for this. There we go. So if you can see, we are trimming everything that could potentially touch the ground here. See how this leaf is bending over? And we have another one growing here very close to the ground. This one as well. So you see how that opens up a lot of airflow here. And then this looks like a sucker, 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 sucker. Those are all, this is a longer sucker. So these are all growing new plants. So since I did leave my peroxide water on the other side of the garden, I'm gonna run over and grab that, and then I'm gonna finish this up and I'll be back. All right, so we're back. So now you can see that you can clearly see the soil level. All of these suckers, if they were extra, I'm not cutting the ones up here, and any extra leaves that were touching the ground or near the ground, I did go ahead and remove. So you can see there's very, very good airflow here. Do not leave these leaves in there. I have them in a little pile here. These are gonna go in the garbage because as you can see, it looks like a little bit of disease starting there, there, and on there on some of the leaves. So throw these away. Do not leave them in there with the tomatoes. This one looks very good. The bottom is cleaned up very nicely. Here is the other side, and as you can see, you can clearly see the ground now in all of these tomato plants. So all of those extra leaves have been cleaned up very nicely. So are you guys growing tomato plants this year? How have you done in the past? If you got any tips for me, I would love them. I feel like I get a good first round of tomatoes, and then after that, something happens with that second round. Either the heat and humidity like rolls in and they kind of shut down, or either some type of disease or fungus rolls in. All the leaves literally curl up, like they go from here to just like curling up and like withering away. So again, they say if you have a fungus in your yard, it's in your soil, it's in your ground, and it's there to stay for many, many years. So I do make sure that I do go ahead and plant multiple different varieties, because there is a variety that will do good in your garden. There's a lot of hybrid varieties that do better with different types of funguses and diseases. So you just gotta kind of try and see what works for your garden. And I say I wouldn't give up. I don't really grow red tomatoes. I grow yellow, orange, and smaller cherry varieties, but I'm not really big on red tomatoes. The one thing that I did forget to go back through and trim are the Roma tomatoes in my green stock. So I'm trying a few Roma tomatoes since they are a more of a determinate variety in the green stock. So after this video, I will definitely have to go back and trim those, even though they actually don't look too bad from what I'm looking at here. And in the green stalk, by them being in the little cubby in the green stalk, the little hole, it kind of keeps the leaves from falling into the area where the soil is. So actually those might be okay. And you never want to trim any suckers on, bugs are out here like crazy. You never want to trim any suckers on your determinate plants, because those determinate plants are as big as they're going to get, and trimming any extra leaves or suckers, sorry, my brain went whoop, suckers on those could be detrimental to your plants. So again, if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. leave a picture, leave a comment below, leave something for me. Have a great evening. Bye-bye now.